right now.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Toy Talk Live. We got a few hot topics to go over. Hi, Terry. How are you?
I am splendid. How are things in your world, David? I know you got a new career path, new job, new occupation. What are you doing now?
I am working for a collectibles toy store, comic and collectible toy store in my local Central Florida area, Acme Comics and Collectibles. And I've been a good friend of the family of the owners of that business for decades, probably 35 years. And so I was a volunteer there a few years back, 4 or 5 years ago, as a just a volunteer, and I worked there for about a year and 3 months, and it just got too difficult to do that and my full-time job as a manager at my previous job, and so I had to bow out. But I've been freed up. I'm no longer at my primary job any longer. And so I am now helping them. And we have a lot of exciting things that we've got planned. And I look forward to the future with them. Should be exciting.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing something that you want to do, something that you enjoy.
Well, yeah, it's deal with comics and toys. Who can't love that? It's everything that
Right.
we do, you know.
Right.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Thanks for joining us.
So, with the let me get my computer moved here a little bit so that I'm not so far away. So, we had the his tank drop for
At
pre-order.
CCXP Brazil.
And it is available for pre-order right now.
So how do you feel about how do you feel about that price point? $199.99, a little bit higher than we were led to believe. We thought it was going to be,
man. I don't think we were led to believe anything. I think there was a lot of speculation, but the speculation was that it was going to be 150 to 175, and considering all of the other price increases that we've seen, 200 really doesn't surprise me very much.
No, I agree with you. I think with the shipping costs and the tariffs and all the other stuff over the last 8 months, I thought it would be $74.99, but them raising it $25.
Tony said a while back that he thought it was gonna be $200.
Yeah, he was right. Tony Figgs was right. I was, I guess, optimistic, and I guess my optimism was not paid back. So there you go. But I have a plan in which I'm going to order mine. I ordered one on the day that it dropped, December 4th. I'm going to order another one on the last day, January 4th, and hopefully they'll ship them both at different points and charge me at different points. So instead of having to drop $450 all at one time, it'll be two like 13 and 213 at different points, and I'm hope I can like mitigate the cost that way next year during Christmas, because that's when that's going to be charged.
So I'm going to re-up my Hasbro premium membership so that I can order my 20 to 30 of these to scalp.
Yeah, and I don't think you can do that. I'll be surprised if you get 5.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not even buying 5, brother.
Oh, you're not? Okay, well,
no, all of my disposable income right now is going into development for this toy line.
Oh, I see.
So, which I'll show you something, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Okay. So I like this. I think it's a very beautiful design. I like the differences they added with the missile rack, the gun swapping gun turrets, the rack, the blanket. I wish the blanket was cloth. I like the different canopy being red. There's some elements that are different. It's not exactly the same as the Hiss. Obviously, it doesn't have the electronics, which we knew it wasn't going to have, and a lot of the armaments we knew it wasn't going to have. But they did give it some new elements, which I like.
So this comment here, the value's not there. HasLab has been exposed for just being a crowdfunding loan to Hasbro to make money on off the interest. I'm not really sure exactly how that would work, making money off the interest. Maybe they're investing it. Maybe they're showing something to investors to get more money that way. I'm not really sure.
I don't know. We paid for the original mold already with the HasLab. We are never going to get a black and red Hiss ever again. We
Don't
paid for
say
that.
never.
Well,
I
classified
want a red
scale.
one. I want a red one.
A classified scale. I'm talking black.
Yeah,
Oh,
give me a classified um, crimson hiss with the MMS or with something.
yeah. I think that's a possibility. That's a possibility. We're not going to get the vintage black with the red letters. They said that it's not going to happen ever again. But
Yeah,
I think we could get other iterations, and I'm all right with that. But it's one of those things, and now we're in a position where do we want it or do we not want it? Now you can choose. There's nothing
I
wrong with
want it.
that.
I want all of them. I want it in all the colors. I want the blue one with Rip It.
Yeah.
I want
I want the
I want
septic tank.
yeah, give me a septic tank. That would be awesome
So those
for
are the
me.
four. Those are the four most common ones that people want. The Arctic one, the blue one with Rip It, septic tank with some sort of eco bad guy, the
Yeah.
crimson one, either Crimson Guard related or Palatoy related. I don't know how they would do that,
It
but
would
those are
probably
your
be
four.
something. It would probably be like the set that came out with I believe it was Valor versus Venom, which is the Crimson His Tank and the Crimson Asp,
Yeah,
and then there's also the Crimson Attack Tank, the Cat.
yeah, yeah,
So that would be cool.
yeah. So that's probably what you're gonna get for hisses. You'll get
I
probably
fucking hope so, man. I want a Tiger Force. I want the Tiger Force stuff. I love it. That's what I had when I was a kid. I'm not old enough to have had the other stuff. So
and some of this stuff will really look nice in the new because they've changed the Tiger Force
yeah,
deco.
dude, I can't wait for a tiger rat and a tiger fly.
Yeah, yeah, we're definitely getting those. There's no doubt in my mind that we're going to get that stuff. It's just a matter of time and how long can we hold on. But yeah, I think they could have lured us in a little bit better with this, but maybe they could have made it like 89.99 and gave us a little bit of a break. But I don't know. It is what it is.
Uh, like I said, originally when we talked about the pricing on it, 175 made sense. And then we saw the figures jump up to almost $30 a piece. They're what,
Right.
27.99?
Yeah.
It's not surprising that it's 200. I was looking at I'm went inside Walmart the other day and cruised through the toy department, and I was looking at the Star Wars figures that they have. I don't collect Star Wars. It's just something that caught my attention. And they had a figure that was on a larger card. It was a 3.75 figure. It's on a larger card. Didn't really come with any additional stuff, and they called it a deluxe, and it was 20. I want to say like 27.99 or something. It was
Yeah.
not. It was stupid.
Was it the Boba Fett guy? The guy that had Boba Fett's armor. Did you watch The Mandalorian at all?
Yeah, I did, and it was not him. It was a stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper. Was it
Yeah,
a
it was.
weird stormtrooper?
Nah, it was like some kind of Imperial stormtrooper or something. I don't know what it was.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like all up on the action figures for Star Wars stuff because I don't collect it.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, but it just surprised me that it was a 3.75 figure for like almost $30. And the only thing that it had was a larger card back. It was
Yeah.
wider.
Yeah. And I think it has like a staff. It's the guy that's the stun stormtrooper that has the big long staff, that stun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this one came with like a small shield or something.
Yeah, I think he was one of the guys from the Andor series, the second series. He's like I guess you would call him like an alley viper, that type of character, where he's like a traffic, not traffic control, but like a crowd control type stormtrooper.
Yeah, maybe that's what this was.
Yeah, that's what it is, from Andor season 2, I believe. But I don't know. I'm gonna get two. I get two of every classified. I'm a completist. I'm gonna get regardless of what it is. I think we could have saved some money. This is where we could have saved some money. I think they should have just included this head in a little box or a little pouch or something and left the body out, and then you could have stuck the head on when any of the other snow serpents you already got. Two
Yeah,
identical snow
but they're
serpents.
not going to do that. I mean, that goes against what they've done historically. And they said someone had said that this may not be or that the snow serpent may not be the figure that we're getting with the hiss, but I mean, this looks to
This
me
is
like
it.
it is a snow serpent body with a hiss driver head.
Yeah, and it's redecoed with gold and blue. Yeah, that's what we're getting.
I'm not mad at it. I don't really care. I want the Arctic hiss tank
Yeah,
more than
I could
anything.
have lived without the stormtrooper or the. You got me thinking
Yes.
Star Wars. The snow serpent, I could have lived without it. I honestly could have. I think that could have made the thing $25 cheaper. And you can put any number of characters in that. There's the Arctic bats. We got two versions of the snow serpent with many different modular options with those snow serpents to make them multiple different versions. We
And
have Storm
what's
Shadow.
funny is that I see people now that skipped out on the snowcat
Yeah,
that all of a sudden want to find a snowcat for a good deal.
not gonna. If you look at those some of those photography photos from CXP Brazil, and they have the snowcat and they have the Arctic salt hiss next to it, that snowcat is massive. It dwarfs that hiss. It dwarfs it.
You mean kind of like this shot right here with the snowcat overturned?
Yeah, it is big. It is huge, much bigger than people realize. I think the price that we got for that is actually a bargain. Looking at the size of it compared to that hiss is not small. That is big, and that
Now,
snowcat's dwarfing it.
one thing that I will say here, man, uh, I think anybody that watched my video with the Awe Striker knows I was pretty disappointed in the way some of the accessories came with that. Very, very gummy, very rubbery and soft. I'm afraid that we're going to end up with the same thing here. This gun mount, I'm afraid that's going to be a soft, rubbery piece of shit, just like parts here for the missiles. That's my
Well,
concern. They've upped the charge, they've upped the price. We're going to be paying more for it, and it's going to come with gummy, junky accessories. That
well, and that's the problem is the fact that they upped the price to the 200, and that for that instance that those weapons are not going to be up to par, but it makes you want to go to ramen or one of those third parties and get one of their kits for this thing, but then you're having to spend more money for that when we shouldn't have to do that. They should make it right if you're spending $200.
I agree, man. Like I'm starting to become a little bit discontent with some of the stuff they're putting out because of that. Like it could be so awesome, it could be so cool if the quality was there.
Yeah. They go above and beyond when it comes to paint apps and decos and things like that. They don't have any problem with face printing and all that type of stuff. It's just the extra little mile, like that tarp. Why not make it a cloth tarp? Why not? There's nothing wrong with that. You could have
Because I don't
reused.
think they really needed to. I don't think it needed to be cloth. A lot of it seems like that's a point of contention for a lot of people, being that the tarp is not soft goods, but I don't think that it necessarily needs to be.
Well, the reason why I think I'm bringing that up is because the bivouac with the snowcat is cloth. That is not plastic. That's
Is
cloth.
it?
Yeah, it's cloth. So I think we could have reused this. This could have been maybe a Cobra bivouac. You could add the Cobra emblem on that cloth thing and put it up. So then that's something you can use for both Cobra and Joe if you wanted to.
I'm gonna look here real quick and see what year did
Because
that
it's
Arctic Hiss come out? Was it 2007, 2008?
the original came out 2012 or 13. The original Arctic Hits.
No, it did not, sir. It was the 25th anniversary in
Yeah,
2009.
it was 25th anniversary Target, right? It might have
Yeah,
been 2009 or 2008 then.
yeah,
I
it
just
was
heard someone
2009.
mention it earlier today. They said it was 2013, but they might have been wrong.
Yeah, so let's actually take a look at that on yojo.com.
Well, I have one. I can just go get it if you want.
Do you have all of the accessories broken down and laid out and photos of
No,
those
no, it's in the box still.
taken? Yeah, this is what I wanted to show. This is what I wanted to look at.
Oh, okay.
So you have the turret, but you also have that tarp. I mean, it's all the same stuff. You
Yeah,
have the tarp that is molded plastic, and
yeah.
back when I was buying those, I don't recall anybody complaining about that not being soft goods.
No, no, because it was a smaller scale, and we knew that everything was done in plastic back then. But for
Yeah.
the, I think to go to that extra level, it's has lab scale. So why
So
not?
are we not going to an extra level by having the crew compartment in the back?
Well, yes, you're right.
I mean, it seems to have a lot more features than the 3.75 scale
Oh,
version of the same vehicle.
yes, you're right. It does. Does.
The gun mounts, even though I've bitched about the guns enough,
I,
I have this sitting back here behind me as well. But it's much more, as it should be. It's much more than what we got in the 4-inch scale.
yeah, it is. It's definitely. It's just I just wanted them to go that little teeny extra mile.
Yeah, but
But
that's what I'm saying, man. They have really. I mean, they could have just scaled this up and given us this exact thing in the 6-inch scale.
yeah, that's true. You're right.
And if you want to talk about an extra mile, I think that, and I'm not just sucking off Hasbro here, but if you want to talk about the extra mile, I think that they really did with the crew compartment, the gun mounts, and all the extra stuff that you get with it.
Yeah,
Over.
I see that. I can accept that. It's just one of those weird little extra layers that I think it
And
would
I
have
think
gone
that even if they had done that, that people still would have wanted more. People would still be saying that there should be even more.
uh,
I think that it's kind of an always moving the goalpost for
it's
the.
never enough.
I
It's
think the
never enough.
fans are always moving the goalpost for what they want,
Right. It's
what they
never
think
enough.
they
You're
deserve,
right.
and
I,
that's really what it comes down to. It's what people think they deserve.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that if Ramen or whoever does like a kit for this, they include some sort of a cloth thing that could be used for the bivouac. That would be just incredible. They would sell a boatload of those.
Yeah, but if they did, you would still have people saying that they should do more.
Oh, ramen?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Hasbro. I
No,
missed that.
gridiron or ramen. If they do like kits for this, um, yeah, I think it would be great. Well, yeah, Hasbro, they're never going to be able to win. I agree with you. Hasbro will never be able to win. As good as something is, and as much money as they spend to get it the best it can possibly be, and I do believe they do endeavor to do that. They're never going to win. There's always going to be complaints, like you said.
I think we need this hiss. Talk about silly, dude. This thing, like, and I've got this. I think I've actually got one sealed, but this thing was ridiculous.
They did that in like 3 different decos too. They
Yeah,
were,
no, I loved it. They had a blue one, they had this red one and a black. Yeah, yeah. Here we go.
I like that one. That one's cool.
Yes, very much. The 2010.
Yeah,
I like
I
that
like those.
crimson version as well a
Yeah,
lot.
those are really
Really
neat.
like that version.
There's some really nice versions of modern vehicles that are really nice looking, and I don't know if we'll ever get them. That's why I'm curious about this leak turret, this leak not turret thing that we're getting, tread or whatever that they put in the videos for the Hasbro Brazil CCX panel. Is that a modern updated version of a battle polar bear, or is it the traditional battle polar bear, or is it something else?
I think that it is going to be a traditional polar battle bear to appease the you call them purists, I guess, the people that want all the stuff to be just upscaled 80s with that ever moving goalpost of extra features.
Well, the thing about it is the classified vehicles, you have them all, so you can see what I'm getting at. They've always updated those. They're not exactly the exact thing that we got in the 80s. Like, let's use the HASLAB, for example. That is an incredibly updated version of a HISS tank. Uh, sometimes they don't do a great job, like the Ostriker, like you mentioned, but the Vamp is a really nice upgrade. The Armor Bot, the Claw, the Trouble Bubble, a lot of the vehicles that we've gotten, the four wheelers, the Ram, are really nice upgraded versions of those vintage. So I don't know. I don't know. I think we would get a little bit of upgrade to the Battle Polar Bear. Maybe not to the extent of this but I think we probably would get some upgrades to it.
I mean, it's possible, man. I think that what we were shown is probably going to be it's probably a ski to the polar battle bear. But if you go back and look here at the 1983 version, we know that we're getting this. They've already said that we're getting it. The skis on the polar battle bear. Uh, there's a good side view.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
The skis look markedly different from what we were shown
yeah,
in that
correct.
image that you're talking about.
But that's
So
why I'm saying it.
I
That's why I'm
think that what we'll probably end up with is something completely different from what we're expecting, or that ski doesn't even go to that. That ski probably goes to um,
this swamp
hmm,
skier, Zartan swamp skier, possibly.
that's what I'm looking for.
It's it's all conjecture until we actually get it, and I believe we're
Right.
probably going to get this revealed on GI Joe Day in February.
What day is GI Joe Day?
It's usually the 1st of February. It usually is around the 1st of February. It may the day, I don't know the exact day, but I know it's usually the 1st of February, somewhere around there. Um it's usually on a Saturday, which is odd that GI Joe Day is on a Saturday, but it is. Um
So let's see. We had this figure here. I didn't realize that he came with heat sensitive stickers.
Interesting. You learn something new every
Where,
day.
where is the swamp skier? Am I just gonna
Maybe
have
you
to
have,
search for it?
maybe you have to click on it and maybe it'll pop up or something. I don't know.
What year
So
did he come out? 83, 84?
he came out in '84. He was a figure in a vehicle price point, and they
Yeah. Oh, the
upgraded.
chameleon. It wasn't even called the swamp skier. It was called the chameleon.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
So
a popular term for it.
if we pull this up, the part that was shown doesn't even look like anything here either. So
Well, it's a smaller kind of version of that. The one that they showed had a lot more like motor parts and engine, like mechanisms up longer.
yeah,
So it's kind of a the small part of that, and then a much larger mechanism for motor and stuff like that. So I still think it's a battle polar bear. I just think it's an upgraded, classified version of it, and it'll be have some new elements, and it'll
Yeah,
be.
I think that it's part of the polar battle bear as well.
It looks like it would be, because that little circular thing there would make it like it can adjust and bounce. That's what a ski mobile does. And I've driven ski mobiles. No, I shouldn't say I've driven. I've driven on one with someone else driving it, and it does. It has to be flexible, so that little thing would have to move up and down, and so there's a
So
little thing there.
the Arctic wolf, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Arctic Wolf. Is that the Cobra vehicle?
Yeah,
The
that's the
Arctic
Cobra
Wolf
Wolf, man.
with the I oh well, but that's see they're saying that it's those skis in the front of it that most of it's blocked by that big canopy, but you don't see what those skis look like because it's blocked. So I don't know. I could go get my
Yeah.
Arctic Wolf out and look at it closer, but it's just I don't know. It's
Hmm.
interesting.
Maybe. I mean, it makes sense that since they've already told us that we are getting the polar battle bear, that this is going to be part of the polar battle bear.
Yeah, and they're not going to do another Cobra Arctic vehicle when we get in the Arctic Assault Hiss.
They
But
might. I mean, fuck, man, you don't know. They might.
well, maybe. I won't say never, like you always say, never say never, but it just doesn't make sense. This seems like a perfect vehicle to accompany the Snowcat and that whole play pattern.
This right here. Class 5 should have never gone retro, in my opinion. They should have been upgraded to a real world aesthetic like Pursuit of Cobra. HasLab vehicles should have been RC. Maybe RC. I agree with all that except for maybe the RC thing. Like, I don't really care about RC. But yeah, I've said for a long time that the classified series should all be updated stuff and leave the retro stuff to the retro carded line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole different argument there. We've talked about it before where
Yeah.
it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me because I'm an obsessive compulsive and you're an obsessive compulsive. Most of us are obsessive to get the way that it's like they don't care. And Emily mentioned it on this panel. Dos for you something GI Joe YouTube channel. She did an interview with the guy in Brazil at CCXP. She mentioned that exact thing, the vintage package, and what they want to do is they want to update the vintage characters, but they want you to know that that's the version that's on the retro package. So that was her thought process in that interview when she talked about it. I was like, okay, now I see that. But prior to her saying that, I didn't know that. I was like, what the hell are they doing? And then she said that in that interview. I was like, oh, okay, I can see why
That's
you're
like
doing that.
the Sunbow what is it? Sunbow cover girl on the
Yeah,
retro card.
right. Exactly.
Yeah, I will say the Sunbow bat being on the retro card is fantastic. I
Yes,
actually love the deco of that bat.
I do too. I talked about it before. I think that bat is perfect. That's the perfect bat if you want a vintage bat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
And then of
I
course we have Flint Shapiro.
That's a totally different story altogether. But yeah. So another little interesting thing was we got a drop, another name only drop, Deep
Yes.
Six.
Yes, we did.
So what do you think about vintage Deep Six coming by himself as a deluxe figure? Price offering.
Dude, I think he's going to be a $50 figure.
At least he's in that $44 to $49 price range. I agree with you.
I do. I think he's going to be a $50 figure. He's going to come with a bunch of stuff. And
do you think the armor will be removable?
No, I don't.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't want it to be.
Because I was looking at it maybe as a snake armor type scenario. I'm like, wait a minute. Are they going to try to do a G.I. Joe like armor type thing? Yeah.
Dan may know.
Yeah, he knows a lot. That's true. But it's because of the tariffs and the whole shipping costs and
Oh, I don't
everything
give a
going up.
fuck about tariffs. Some people say he's coming with the shark.
He's not coming with the shark. They mentioned on that panel he was going to be a mainline release by himself, but deluxe price point. So there's no shark, but the shark may come down the line by itself, and maybe you'll get a diver or something with it, and
I hope not.
hopefully it would have
I don't need
two
another diver.
seats. Huh?
I don't need another diver.
Well,
Deep
I don't
Six
know.
better have a bathtub play feature. I mean, more like a swimming pool play feature. Give him a nice long air tube and make it so you can pump him up and make him dive and come back to the surface.
That would be great if they could do something like that. It could be future proofing for a water type apparatus for the septic tank. So that's the thing. I'm surprised they went with this Deep Six. I honestly didn't think they were going to go with this Deep Six, but they did. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out with this figure, how it turns out. But if you look at let's, I don't know. Let me see if I can pull something out of here that's a large figure. I don't really have any large figures to pull from, but if you look at an average figure like a Road Pig, that's going to be bigger than Road Pig with that armor. So it's going to be a large figure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I can see why they separated it from the shark. That I agree with them on that. It's just a matter of, is there going to be a figure under that armor, or is it just going to be a big bulky guy with articulation points and things like that, and the helmet comes off and he'll have a lot of water equipment and like a jet underwater jet pack type situation going on and things like that type of gimmick, because they wouldn't have showed this picture on that panel if it wasn't going to be something like that. I don't think.
Hydrofoil and Thunder Machine for next year.
Well, those have been speculated for quite a while. When we get closer to the New Year's, maybe we can do an episode where we talk about what we think will come next year and what we like our favorites for this year. In a few weeks.
The death of the line.
Yeah,
that's what's coming next year.
Yeah. I don't think so, because I know they've got at least 40 to 60 items planned for this coming year, and probably another 40 to 60 items the next year.
Jesus Christ, 40 to 60 items.
That
is a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. But they really need to get into more 2000s, really is where they need to start getting some of this stuff, because now that we got another vehicle driver, 80, I think it's 84 that Shark and Deep Six, they're really scraping the bottom of 84. I think they're almost done. Who else do you have in 84? Cutter?
Oh hell, man! I don't know if they're scraping the bottom of the barrel or not.
For 84, there's only a couple people left. Ace, Cutter. Who else do you have in 84? Maybe the Vamp Mark II with Clutch version 2 and Grunt version 2. That's about it for 84. There's not much else left.
I'm ready to get out of the 80s.
Well, me too. That's what I'm getting at, is they really did very good from 82 to 86. Now we need to get in the late 80s, 90s, really hit that 90s hard, and then a lot of 2000s. Hit that 2000s hard, because there's a lot of good stuff.
They still have we've gotten everybody except for, let's see, Thunder,
yeah.
Deep Six and Cutter, and then the tan Clutch. Ooh, you know what? They could do a Vamp Mark II.
Oh yeah,
with the tan Clutch.
Yeah, they're coming with that. There's no doubt about that. They're going to work on that desert faction or the desert play pattern. We're getting Arctic, we're getting water. They'll do the desert. There's no doubt. It's just a matter of time. I think Ace is 83, right? So I don't need to worry about it. It's Cutter is the big question mark for 84.
I think that if we get Cutter, it's going to be a standalone figure. I don't think he's going to be with anything.
Well, I think they should do a swap out, and they should do a tactical battle platform as a HasLab. That's a way more manageable as a HasLab that could
Dude,
fold up, and you can put Cutter in there. You can
maybe
have
they could do it with like cardboard pieces.
no, you can easily get the battle tactical platform. It's those legs are removable. You can have it fold up. You can have a really cool computer room console, helipad, guns. I think it's way more doable than the whale.
I don't know, man. I mean, a whale, either one of those things would be huge. But have you seen the size of the 3D printed tactical battle or the tactical battle platform?
No, I haven't seen a 3D printed version. I
They're
know people are making it.
they're massive.
David, no battle plan. No, that's perfect. That's a perfect opposite to the hydrofoil is the battle tactical platform. You can have the shark land on the thing or the dragonfly land on it. You can have the devilfish. You can have all kinds of cool equipment and this and that. You can relive the Battle of Cobra Island out in the Gulf of Mexico. I think it would be phenomenal to get a battle.
The Gulf of what, David?
The Gulf of Mexico.
The Gulf of what, David?
The Gulf of Florida? I don't know. The sea
It's
coast.
the Gulf of America.
Oh, the Gulf was the sea coast Gulf. Okay. Never
It's
mind.
the Gulf of America, David.
Well, we are not getting a whale. Lego Star Wars.
Yes.
We are not getting a whale. The thing would be bigger than this screen. You couldn't even fit it in this room. It would be so big.
I mean, it's not that big.
No. But
The whale, I mean, it's pretty
big.
big. It's pretty sizable, but it's doable.
You think so?
Like I said, I mean, you know, the 3D printed whale is pretty good sized.
Yeah, I would like to get sometime do get all those measurements, and we can talk about it on an episode because I just don't see us getting a whale. I just don't. I just don't.
I think a whale's totally doable, but I think that it would be a $600 HasLab if we did.
Yeah, exactly, and that's my point. No one wanted to fund the mothership. That was $700 and change.
Dude, the reason nobody wanted to fund the mothership is because you couldn't combine shipping on them. It was $100 each for shipping, and it was $500 just for the mothership, plus tax tacked onto all of that.
I thought it was higher than that.
I want to say I think it was $500 for the mothership, and then another $100 for shipping.
Yeah, shipping.
I personally, I actually like I've tried to back it.
I backed it.
Thing so bad.
I did too. I backed it, but I could only get one, and but they're gonna try to redo that in a couple of years and try to figure out a better way to do it, format or something. But we've talked about it. I did an interview with Brian Flynn a couple of weeks back, and we talked about it a little bit and how the feasibility wasn't there, and they're gonna try to rework it in a couple of years. So we'll see.
This statement here: nobody wants 3 3/4 anymore. All grown-ups want 6 inchers.
No, that's
I'm actually. I disagree with that greatly.
Yep, me too.
But it seems like we have kind of gone with a little bit of a roller coaster on the size of figures that people want. A lot of people do want 6-inch. There's a ton of people that want 6-inch for the detail, the accessories, and whatnot.
Yeah.
But at that point, what about 12-inch? You know, G.I. Joe started out as 12-inch, then went down to 8.5 inch, and then 3 3/4.
Then they went back to 12-inch.
Back up to 4 inches and 12 inches and 8.5, 9-inch. I think is what the
Sigma 6.
Yeah, Sigma 6 was like an 8-inch figure.
Yep. It just depends. It depends on what's going on in the world. That's how GI Joe's been dictated and Hasbro's been dictated over the entire 60, going on 63 years of this brand. It depends on the world and the costs of plastic, oil,
Right.
this, that, and the other, shipping costs, tariffs, you name it. It's dictated by what is happening in the world. Like any business, businesses fluctuate, determined based on what is happening in the world. And that's no different for Hasbro and GI Joe over the 63 years.
Yeah, I think like the 6-inch stuff, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm running into a situation where space is becoming an issue.
Oh yeah. Yep, I'm in the same boat. I don't know, 2 years ago I might not have said that, but now I'm seeing it because I'm getting multiples of every single thing and they're doing a lot more vehicles and it is exponentially difficult to.
Just to be clear, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying that 3 3/4 is more popular. I don't know if what's more popular right now. If it's 1/18th, 1/12th, it seems like 1/12th is what's taken over pretty much everything right now.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of Kickstarters that have 1/12. There's also a lot of Kickstarters that have 3 3/4 actually. I don't know.
yeah, the line that I'm doing is going to be 3 3/4 O-ring. Uh, Greatly popular brands like Delta 17, 3 3/4 O-ring. Everybody loves it.
Operation
Skeletron,
Recall,
3 3/4 O-ring. Everybody loves it. 3 3/4
Longbow.
or 4-inch modern.
Um, I think even Skeletron did 3 3/4.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. They had 3 3/4 O-ring figure, and then they had the 4-inch
Yeah,
modern
yeah, they've done
Black
every
Water
scale.
Task Force.
Yeah, they've done all three major scales for GI Joe, other than 12-inch. But yeah, Operation Recall, Longbow, Skeletron, all these other Kickstarters. Schirmeyer and Lacroix's line. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my
Strike Force
actually,
Alpha.
Strike Force Alpha. That's right. So, and a lot of other ones. Some of them
Two
have not
things:
funded.
1/18th and 1/12th can coexist. That's what Skeletron built their whole thing on.
Yeah,
It works for
that's right.
both,
Exactly. Yep.
and what one can afford.
Right. I'm getting both scales for GI Joe, but there's going to come a point where it's going to be breaking, and I'll have to probably choose. But right now, it hasn't yet. So, um, so you have some news on any of your projects coming up?
I do, man. I do. I actually have some news on the ARC. So,
Great.
Artifact Recovery and Containment. I am no longer only releasing a comic book first. This is actually how it's going to be formatted. This is a card back for a 3 3/4 inch O-ring figure. It'll fit inside a Mock Masters case. We're going to do collector-friendly packaging so that you can remove the card, and the card is a comic.
Hey, why don't you make that full screen?
Maybe I should, David. Instead of having that damn
Deep Six.
So anyway, back to what I was saying. They will fit in a Mock Masters case. This is the card back that is also a comic book.
Wow. Now that's a new innovation because I don't think we've ever gotten something like that. So congratulations on that.
It's not the first time there's been a mini comic, but it is the first time I can think of for a card back that is the comic book. And it's like a very short issue of the larger story.
I think McFarlane kind of did it with his very, very first wave or two waves in the 90s, like 94, 95. The package was exactly like that. You could slide the thing out. There was a bunch of ads, but there was a little teeny, like 2 or 3 page story of that character in there. So but those are larger. Those are much larger.
The opportunity to tell the entire story in sections with each of the figures and have a collected version of the book available after the fact or with
Yeah,
it.
that's brilliant.
At a minimum, it'll be available as a full book for digital download, and we may do crowdfunding for printing or something afterwards. But
I
yeah,
think that's
telling
great.
the story along with the figures is what I'm really going for with it.
I think that's great because that makes that more collectible. Not that the figure wasn't collectible already, but now you have to have all whatever figures there are in that wave to get that
Right,
story. Six figures,
right.
eight figures. What? It's brilliant. I think it's awesome.
I really like the concept of doing it this way. It makes things a lot simpler and it makes them flow a lot better.
Yeah.
We have the ability to do 4 to 6 pages of the story in each one of these mini books. We're not going to make them too thick because obviously, I want it to be able to fit the packaging and fit in a case. But 4 to 6 pages per book, per figure. So,
I think that's a great idea. I think it's an original idea for that scale and the paradigm that you're going with, and doing the online complete story and then the trade paperback after the fact. It
yeah.
covers all the bases.
And this isn't anything that I haven't already shown. I'm not going to be showing anything for this going forward until we start getting into the figure development, which I have artwork done. I've got, I'm getting things figured out for what parts we can use from Strike Force Alpha. And because we are going to use some of the parts that already exist, obviously.
Yeah.
New heads, new torsos, new arms, legs here and there.
Because you're doing the swap and pop.
Yeah, pop
too,
and
right?
swap. Yeah, it's going to have that articulation and that ability. The goal is to produce a line of figures that is not too many. We're aiming for 6 in this first story, and the story is a wave. So in the first wave, we're looking at doing 6 figures and a short turnaround on those once the Kickstarter is funded. We're going to have a low funding goal, and we'll unlock figures as it goes. So
So if you got 6 figures and you got 4 pages in each comic, 6 times 4 is what? Uh,
24.
24. So that's a comic. That's an actual comic. A
Yeah.
modern day comic is 24 pages. So that's perfect. So every
We can do
6 figures.
24 to 36 pages for the story, and I think that we can contain it in that.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's perfect. And so you're collecting comics, you're collecting figures, you're
I'm not
collecting,
collecting comics, but
not you. You
oh,
collect comics. You collect digital comics.
right.
No, I think it's really fun. I think you're helping literacy because people will be reading this. The kids, if they buy the toys, will be being able to read and learn about this stuff.
Right.
Are you gonna have a file like on the back page or
Yeah.
the back cover or something of the character so they can
Yes.
learn? Oh, good.
Yeah, the back cover will be the back of the file card. It'll have all the same stuff the back of any typical file card would have.
Oh.
A bio for the figure, and which I'm actually thinking about tapping into the skills of Mr. Jason Packard for that. He likes writing those, and
Are you gonna have a cross sell?
What's that?
Is there gonna be a cross sell on the back as well?
Cross sell.
Yeah, it's where you show all the figures from a
Yes.
wave. G.I. Joe
Yes.
did that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And we're also considering an option for a Kickstarter exclusive figure that would only be available in the Kickstarter and then by mail order or convention shortly thereafter until supplies are gone. One that we won't have re-ran.
Maybe you can give a coupon or something with the first Kickstarter with those 6 figures. If you get all 6 figures and they all get funded, you get this coupon and you can get a 7th exclusive.
Yeah, something like that could be great.
Yeah, I think so. Because they did that back in the day where you'd have to get like 7 or 8 different comics and you'd have to get the coupon from each of those comics. And then you'd mail out for an exclusive 0 comic that had original concepts and stories and art and this and that.
We'll have 4 main characters and at least 2 troop builders. That's what we're aiming for this one. So it should work out to be a pretty decent setup.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I think that's the way to go. Because a lot of companies like Delta 17, Longbow are doing comics with theirs, and
Right.
they're doing regular size comics. This is a completely different paradigm for comics, and it makes it part of the collectability of it.
Yeah. It just made a lot more sense to do it this way than it did to try and run two separate crowdfunding campaigns and make the comic be something separate or first instead of integrating it into the story like it needs to be. I'm big on context when it comes to stuff like this, and that's the meat and potatoes of it for me is the context with the figures. So it's not like, hey, this is a cool figure. What is it?
Right. Because you have no content. You need some
Right.
sort of content. And I think this is a really good way to include that content with every single figure and a wave. So you're that much more apt to buy the whole wave because you want the whole story.
Right. Yeah, that's the mindset behind it. So this, and as soon as we get this done, like I said, we're looking at a 6 to 9 month turnaround to have figures in hand, and if all goes according to plan, and then immediately start the next one.
Now,
Which
aren't
the
you?
next, huh?
Go ahead.
Which the next story is already written. It needs to be scripted. I've actually got 5 stories written so far, so 5 different waves of figures.
So, and that's what I was going to ask. I was like, you already have the first comic already done. So you're just getting the toys made now, right?
We're working on the comic and getting the toys developed at the same time. We're just taking section by section, batches of 3 pages at a time. They're written. Dan is scripting them, and Ellis is doing the artwork. Then it's moving over to Dana for color and letter. So
And you have a lot of stuff that you've shared on your Facebook page and your socials, and it looks really good. The art looks really good. The concept's a very original concept, and I'm very happy for you.
yeah,
Looks
I'm
like
really happy with how the artwork's going, man. Elisu is really easy to work with, and I'm happy that he's on board.
exciting times.
So we have like I said, we've got the turnarounds done for I think 4 figures so far. Um, we have I've got to actually go through some figures and look for parts that we can reuse, and then from there send whatever we need to the digital sculptor and start working on figures. Once that's done, I'll do the paint masters myself, and then we can work on getting them produced.
So when do you think we'll have this Kickstarter launching?
I have no idea. As soon as possible, and I'll keep everybody updated on it. I'll always talk about it. So,
Well, that's
talk about it
good.
and give updates, and then hopefully it'll be sometime next year. We'll be ready to start we'll be able to launch the Kickstarter and get these made.
Well, I think you're way ahead of things, and you're doing an excellent job with it. I'm very, very enthusiastic for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope that everybody else is as excited for it as I am. I'm really, really looking forward to having something that I've kind of dreamed about for a long time become a physical product, because like I've talked to several people about this in the past, and it's basically like what I think GI Joe should have become, or what they should have gone with, or whatever. And it's not even. It, it seems like everything gets compared to GI Joe, but I mean it's really not necessarily GI Joe. It's just it's adventure archaeology, and it's 2 things that I really love:
Yeah,
myth, legend.
yeah, there's a lot of similar type concepts. There's that what was that? Like Warehouse 13. There's things
Yeah,
like that. It's something that has existed for a long time, but marrying it with more of a GI Joe bent and doing it more in this scale and things like that are all new to that idea. So I think it's great.
Right. Yeah, it's combining all of these things that I am passionate about is is the main part of it. You know, it's all of these things. It's the archaeology, the adventure, the action figures, comics, having all of it come together.
It's a perfect marriage.
Hmm. Yes, because I live in Indiana. It's Indiana Joe.
That's funny. That is funny.
So yeah, and what are you? Don't you have a project that you have coming up as well?
I have multiple projects, but there's only so much I can go into on some of these things. Um, we're relaunching CTE, but I cannot say too much about it because we're working on the copyright and trademark of CTE at the moment, so I can't give too much information on that. But the first story is written and completely drawn and inked and lettered and ready to go for that first the first issues complete, and then the second story has been written. We have to draw that. The cover is done for that first issue. We are working on the next 7 issues of that, drawing the first story, and then I will have to get artists for the second story, and then we'll be getting different guest artists to do each cover for that, and they're gatefold covers, so it'll be fold out, and it'll have all the characters from the issue will be on each cover in different ways and stuff like that. And
Oh, nice.
there'll be data files in each issue for different characters, and hopefully the character's data file will represent the a character that will be in that issue. They may not be the 100% primary character, but they will be connected to the issue that their data file is in, and the data files are the crux of that first 8 issues story. They're broken up into 8 pages, each issue for 8 pages, kind of like a Marvel Comic Presents. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this.
Yes,
Or
yes, I remember those.
yeah, and they used to have 4 stories in each issue, and they were all 8 pages. And some
Yeah.
were eight issue stories, some were 12 issue stories, some were 4 issue stories, some were 1 issue stories. So each story was a different thing for each issue and stuff. So that's what that is. CTE is going to be that, but it's being relaunched with a whole new concept that I created. I cannot, like I said, I can't really go into it too much, but when I am ready, we have the copyright and trademark to the title, then I will be able to go into more on that. And that's on top of my other editorial work with the adventure team that we are doing with Rising Sun. And we are working on our second story arc. The first issue is already drawn, lettered, inked, and finished and ready to go. We've got 4 covers for that already done for the first issue. So we've got to get the first 3 issues done, the first arc, before we can do the Kickstarter. We are not going to do a Kickstarter until we have all the issues complete. So we'll do Kickstarter 1, Kickstarter 2, Kickstarter 3. So they'll be back to back to back to back. 1 month, second month, third month. And we'll be launching that at my personal convention in Florida, the Central Florida Joe Show in April on the 19th. Will be a soft launch of the Kickstarter if everything's ahead of time and our media's all caught up and we're ready to go. If it's not ready for that, then we'll do a heavy launch at Joe Fest 2026, the 26th through the 28th of June. So that's our plan for that.
So tell me more about your show, real quick.
My show, the Central Florida Joe Show, it's like an 80s vintage toy show, kind of the sister show to Joe Fest. It'll be in Central Florida, Deltona, on the 19th of April. We're going to have Mark Pennington, Adam Riches, Jason Mark Sobel, and a few other guests. We're looking at LaCroix Studios. We're looking at After Action Report, and a special guest that I'm working on that is a G.I. Joe vintage creator, designer that has never appeared at any G.I. Joe show, to my knowledge, in the history of G.I. Joe conventions. And if I can get this person, it'll be an exclusive to our show.
And who's that?
I can't say who it is yet because I haven't got him yet.
But, all right, man. Well, we'll be on the lookout for more information on that. So we are at our end of our show for today. Thank everybody for joining in. Thanks, David, for hanging out and talking about stuff.
Hey, it's my pleasure to always talk about G.I. Joe. I could do this all day, every day. I appreciate everybody on the chat for joining us and getting involved and contributing to the conversation. Thank you, Terry, for having me again.
Anytime, man. We'll see you all next Sunday. All right. Take care.
Take care, everybody.